Yes, we're on. Hello, my queens of the Aligned Business Woman Facebook group and our kings, because we do have some men in here. I love that we do have a small percentage of men, but amazing men. They're not small, they're big in energy. I love that we have them in here because they too are truth seekers. They too want alignment. And so this stuff is not just for women or anyone that identifies as a woman, female. And yeah, so hello, everyone. Okay, as you hop on, say hello. I want to share a story with you today, and it's like a two-part story. I want to share this with you in case you're at a phase in your life right now where maybe things aren't going right and you're really searching for truth, you're searching for guidance, you're just wanting to have a sense of peace. Hey, Karina, and calm. You want that certainty. You know that what do they call it? It's like whenever you have that almost like a sense of relief, right? You're just like, oh, I just want some peace of mind. So, hey Carolyn, how are you? So, I wanted to share a story with you, and I am going to. We have a guest here, if you will. This is the guest, and the story that I'm about to share with you is about this deck here, which is called Work Your Light Oracle Cards by Rebecca Campbell. It was given to me last Wednesday, January 10th, by my dear friend Chrissy Augustina when she flew in from Florida into Houston to help me facilitate my event, the Aligned Business Woman Circle. Now, let me tell you, that was the very first time that I had ever met Chrissy in person, although she and I have been connected since 2019. So, with that being said, I have this special guest here, and I'm going to tell the story. And I'm also going to pick cards for those that want a card pool. In a little bit, after I go through this story, I will drop the link in the comments if you want to come on live with me, face to camera, and talk about what it is that you're searching for answers for. So, we could talk about it a little bit. I will draw a card and then I'll read to you what the card means in the book. Now, this, again, I've only had this for a day or for a week, and I haven't gone through the whole thing. Actually, I only pulled from it about 2 or 3 times already. So I will have to read what it means in here for you because, again, I'm still getting familiar with the deck. If you do want me to pull a card, but you don't want to come on camera, that is fine. I will tell you what to post in the comments, and then we'll focus on that. We want to make sure that we have that intention and that focus so we get clear answers. All right, so, oh shoot, I forgot something that I wanted to show you. That is fine. Okay, so as many of you may know, I just hosted my biggest event ever. It was it was a big event for me because it was big in the fact that I had to hold a lot of energy. I had to really bring the enthusiasm, make sure that everything just went well, and it was a great experience for everyone. I had originally just was going to do this at a smaller scale. I asked my friend, and if you were at the circle, you heard the story. I asked my friend Misty if I could borrow one of her conference rooms that fit about 9 people, maybe the bigger one that fit maybe 15 people. And this was going to be something like, again, a small scale. She said, Vanessa, do you really want to do this before the holidays? Yada, yada, yada. She convinced me to wait till after the holidays. But what she didn't realize what she was doing was that she was activating the extra Vanessa. If you went to my wedding, you know how extra I can be when it comes to events that I want to put on, parties I want to put on. My wedding had it was a vintage circus themed wedding. So people dressed in like 1920s, 1930s. I had an aerialist. It was like literally like for Water for Chocolate or Water for Elephants. I'm sorry. Yeah, Water for Elephants is a movie with Reese Witherspoon. And I had people on stilts. I had a jazz band playing. They came out, they were playing. I had a cigar woman going around with like the old type of suit. There's an aerialist. There was a magician, a juggler. It was really quite the experience. And so that part of me came back because she kind of went away during COVID. She's been emerging more and more with the goddess events that I've been doing. And I decided to go all in with this event, and I wanted to make it a beautiful experience for everyone that attended, all the way down to the gift bags that we were giving them. I wanted it to feel like once they left the event, that it was not just a one and done thing, that they can cherish the moments from that event for as long as they, that they can cut it until you remember it, right? And so a lot of the little gifts in there were special for me. I mean, it was just really methodical, and I put a lot of thought into it. Well, being at a venue where there's food and beverage minimums and there's all these things, it was an event that cost me several thousands of dollars. That's not just the food and everything else, but like the little things that went in there. And so it was a scary thing. It was a very big, like, oh my gosh, like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do I start promoting it without knowing the event space and not knowing how much it's going to cost me and worry about it later? Or do I go ahead and commit to this and see who attends? Well, I ended up committing to it before even selling anything, any tickets to this event, right? And in fact, the first day that I opened up tickets was a little bit early, was December 7th, and the event was January 11th. So I had very little time to get everything together for this event and sell tickets. Well, as you probably know, because you're in my space here, you're in the community with me, that I like to blend woo and the practical. I very much believe that there are spiritual guides out there, that there's angels wanting to help us and support us in our purpose. I believe that we come here with a sole purpose, and that it is up to us to be able to see the tools and resources and the blessings and the gifts that are going to help us reach that. I know that sometimes we go too fast. Oh gosh, Oliver's awake. I know that sometimes we go too fast and we miss these things. Well, this event was a little bit out of my comfort zone because I was really doing it again on a higher scale. But also, I was putting myself in these spaces, in these rooms where I don't know the people in there. And there was a particular day where the sales page was set up, and I put on there what we were going to do, that Chrissy was going to lead an energetic alignment, that we are going to just kind of cleanse our auras and just really ground for the day so that we can stop overthinking and calm our nervous system. Well, I decided to post this in a Facebook group called the Moms of Houston, because it's a Houston event, right? And if you're into marketing, that there's a strategy behind posting things, right? If you want to grab the attention, you do something that's very short so that it fits on the background, the color background that the Facebook has. And then you put more details in the comments. Well, this woman started to say hateful things on my post. Hold on, baby. And she said, if you're a person of faith, do not go to this. And then she had someone else was in there saying, oh my gosh, I was really digging it until they said the energetic alignment. Well, that really stung for me, because I've experienced this myself, where just calming my mind and seeking a higher wisdom other than my own, really connecting with God and, praying to the Holy Spirit, and really just getting out of my head and all of the influences of the world and allowing my spiritual connection to guide me. Well, that threw me off. And I got really upset. And I told Carolyn, I was like really sad. I was like, oh my gosh, is this really for me? I remember thinking, God, just take this from me. I'm not strong enough to do this. As much work, hey there, as much work that I've done, it was still like, ooh, my ego was like, ooh. And so I had to energetically cut those cords. And right now it doesn't bother me like it did before. Like, it's like, oh, okay. Now I get to use it as a story, as a message, a message that, hey, this is what happened. This is what how I used it for my good, right? So that night I was crying. I was upstairs in my guest room here, where my office is at. And I have and I think it's really interesting, because although I'm very spiritual, people don't realize that I'm a Christian. And so they assume that I'm not. They probably assume, I don't know. I mean, they haven't really said, but they're like, "Oh, you're a Christian." I'm like, "Yes, I am." Well, I happen to have these, it's like an oracle deck, but they're cards that have scripture on there. And so that night I went to bed and I was flipping through the scripture. I was, flipping through the cards and really thoroughly. And I was just praying, like just focusing and like, God, please tell me, give me a sign that this is the right path, that you put this in my heart. You told me that I take a step and I'm stepping and that you're going to reveal the next resource for me. You told me that you got me. So show me what you have for me. I don't have the picture yet, but it was like your faith will move mountains, right? I spent a lot of time shuffling through those with my eyes closed. I ended up falling asleep upstairs. I left the deck of the scripture cards at the end table, the bed, the nightstand. The next morning, I decide to wake up, or I decide to wake up. I wake up. Don't decide to. Kind of have to. Oh, I wish I had it with me. I left it. Oh, it's right here. I wake up and I'm very like, what do I call it? Vision adverse. Like I can't see. Like I have really thick glasses. It's like -8.5, -7. Well, I don't have my glasses on. I pick up the deck because I wanted to, start my day with focusing on a scripture, right? Well, what was strange is that another card fell out. And although I can't really see that well, I could still see that there were different sizes. And this is the card that came out. It is, I wonder if, do I mirror this? You might not be able to see. Okay, you can see Akasha. Okay. Now, let me tell you, this deck I did not own on that day. And I believe that was December, the beginning of December. I just told you Chrissy bought this deck for me and brought it to Houston for me last week. This card was in the affirmation stack, the scripture stack. I had gone through it thoroughly the night before, and this card never revealed itself. And I did not own the deck. This card says, your guidance is divinely guided. I shared it with Chrissy, and I'm getting chills right now. I shared it with Chrissy. She sent me a picture where she has these cards laid out in her kitchen with crystals. How this card, only one card, got here in my home, I do not know. I had never seen this deck or anything before. And so that was my sign, like it says, your guidance is divinely guided. That was my confirmation that God, source, the universe is like, I got you. I got you. This is a big thing, and I got you. And sometimes it's hard to trust and surrender to the things that are being put on your heart to make an impact in the world. And this is just exactly what I needed. So that was completely freaky. I was like, how did this get here? Like it doesn't make any sense. And so sometimes things don't make sense in our life, in our business, but we get to just trust and surrender that it's going to make sense at some point, right? Then we're going to be like, oh, hindsight's 2020. I got it. Now this is why this was meant for me. This is why this happened. It was not meant to harm me, but it was meant for my good. Well, Wednesday night, we were at the Airbnb and we stayed up late, we were talking and things. And I was working on the presentation. And Chrissy decided to draw 3 cards for me. Oh, I wish I would have brought those cards out. I would have been a little bit more organized, but I was putting Oliver down for a nap, which that didn't work because he's like yelling my name. Well, Chrissy drew 3 cards from her deck. Saturday after I dropped off Chrissy at the airport, I was sitting on the couch with Oliver and we're watching TV, and I decided, I was like, I'm going to draw 3 cards. I was like, I'm going to draw a card, and I want to know what is the next step I should do in my business. And so as I was drawing, kind of shuffling through them with my eyes closed, just kind of getting into a peaceful mode, I drew 1 card, and then something told me, no, draw 2 more, because I remember Chrissy doing something for me and our friend Marta, how she drew 3 cards and it was like past, present, and future. Well, this is my deck now, right? So she has her own deck and she gave me my own deck. And the cards that I drew were the exact 3 cards that she drew for me from her deck on Wednesday night in the exact same order. That right there just gives me chills. And so it was just confirmation that everything that I've been working towards. Hold on one second. Let me try to tell him to come upstairs. Hopefully he listens. It was just confirmation. It was just like, you know how sometimes we need to be hit in our face with something for us to recognize that it's a sign? Well, that's what it was, just another thing that, hey, I'm on the right path. I'm I'm in alignment with the impact that I want to be able to make. And that it was share your voice. It was these 3 right here: protection, share your voice, and the sisterhood of the rose. And so um it just really felt like that confirmation, and that it felt safe to go ahead and trust that all the things that I'm feeling and experiencing, and that my logical mind wants to talk me out of because sometimes it doesn't make any sense. It felt really good, right? So I say this again, like I opened up, because sometimes we, go through these things. You may be going through these things too, where you're like, it's really hard for me to keep the faith. I'm going to put this into the chat if you want to join me and draw a card. It's really hard to keep the faith right now, Vanessa. I'm going through financial, losses. I'm going through a loss of a loved one. I'm going through relationship losses, whatever it is. It might feel, oh gosh, I hope you can be able to get that. It might feel a little bit like, I don't know. Like I can't, I don't know how to stay in faith. I don't know how to trust that it's going to be all right. I don't know how to see, what good is going to come out of here. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat if you want to join me live and draw a card. So I want to let you know that taking some deep breaths and it's easier said than done, but I promise you that what you're going through, or maybe you're going through something really great and you're afraid that when's the next shoe going to drop, I promise you that it all can be just fine as long as you trust and you keep doing what you can do. So speaking of doing what you can do, if it is, I'm gonna read this real quick. Crazy what happened to be kind. If it doesn't align with you, scroll by. But I agree. I'm not quite sure who said that, but I totally agree. But that's fine, because it gives me an opportunity to share that story and how we can use it for our good, right? What was I going to say in here? Okay, if you want me to draw a card and you don't want to come on live, which is perfectly fine, just I want you to meditate on question. Oh, Karina's on. I want you to meditate on the question it is that you have for the cards, and I'll be able to draw a card for you. Hey, Karina, hold on one second. Okay. Hey, girl. Let me unmute you. I'm gonna unmute you thing.
Hey.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
Hold on, okay, I got you. There you go.
There was some more I was gonna say, but when I remember what I was gonna say, I'll speak to it. So, Karina, what's going on? You want me to do a card pull for you?
Yes, that would be awesome.
Okay, so I want you to meditate just on the question that you have. And if you want to state it out loud, you can state it out loud. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'll draw 3 cards. And, oh, hey, Lorna. And we'll look at it as in past, present, and future, like what you're going towards. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, because there's a lot of static or feedback on your end, I'm going to mute you as I read the cards, and then I'll take you off of mute, and then you can tell me what questions you have or if it resonates or what, okay?
Okay.
And I don't know if you have your camera on, because I don't see you, but if you wanted to bring your camera on, that's cool too. But if not, that's okay. What is your question for the cards?
Is my business on the right track, or more like, am I on the right track where my business needs to be?
Okay, got it. All right. Is she on the right track of where her business needs to go? So Karina has a fairly new business, and she's doing a lot of, oh, that's what I wanted to mention before I get to her cards. She's doing a lot of things to work on her business, work on herself, just be the woman that has the business that she wants. And one of the things I wanted to share is that, you know, inside the 21-day manifestation bootcamp chat, I sent some voice memos on there talking about trust and surrender. And sometimes we think like, well, we can't trust too much. And then we want to go in and control things. And my example for how to balance that trust and how to balance, the surrender and taking action is that with this event, one thing that I was led to do was like, okay, let me work on my skills. Let me work on my presentation skills. Let me work on my speaking skills. And it was almost like magic that once I invested in a program to do this, and once I invested in the Toastmasters thing, either someone would sign up for the event, or I would have, someone donate something, or, just something that was beneficial for the event would occur. So I'm going to put you on mute really quickly. Hold on, or I'm going to put myself on mute really quickly as I go get Oliver. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry, I miss Karina. I lost her. Jeez. Okay. So the first card I'm drawing is going to be for the past. The second I'm drawing is going to be for the present. And then the last card is going to be for the future. Okay. Okay, so she got the card that I originally got, the Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. And so when I think about this being in your past, Karina, I think about what I had mentioned before, is that sometimes things happen and we don't know, but trusting that you're divinely guided throughout the whole process. So not just in the future, in the present, but even in the past. So let me read this to you. I believe the page is 112. Okay. Again, like I mentioned, this is a brand new deck to me. Akasha exists in the fifth dimension and the Library of Souls. All soul contracts, history, gifts, lessons, and more exist here. We have access to this information of the past, present, and future and can tap into it at any time. While we have free will, there are also points on the timeline of our lives that are predestined or pre planned, soul contracts or agreements that were made before incarnating. It could be a company you choose to work for, a relationship you plan to have, or a person you agreed to mentor or help. Whatever it is, know that it is divinely guided and will not bypass you. If you are waiting for a sign to proceed, this card is it. You're likely living out an important part of your soul's journey, and you're exactly where you need to be. This is very exciting indeed. It is time to call in support of your helpers, both in the physical realm and the spirit world, to trust the signs coming, to take note of your dreams, to notice any feelings or visions that you receive. For you are tapping into the wisdom of the Akasha, and you're being given the go-ahead to proceed. So I don't know right now, Karina, if you're kind of thinking like, how do I, what's my next step? If there's actually an option for you, or there's no options at all, you can feel free to come off mute, and you can kind of share that with me, Karina. Okay, you want to unmute yourself. This isn't, you're muted yourself. So are you at a crossroads right now for something specific, or you're still looking to see what those crossroads could possibly be, Karina? Go ahead. I can hear you. I think you there? Okay, I can't hear you just yet. Okay, I'm going to move to the next one then, Karina. And this is going to be the present. And this is funny. What about us?
Can I go to the couch
Yes.
and put a show on?
I was hoping he would sleep a lot longer. Yesterday, he slept for almost 3.5 hours. The second one right now, or the present one, is protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, and soul retrieval. So for this one, what I would suggest is what is happening in your present that you're giving away your power. Maybe you're giving away your energy or your focus, that you need to just cut the cords on things that are no longer serving you, that are actually draining your efforts, or maybe they're just, taking your focus away from what you're trying to build. I think that might resonate for you, because I know that there's some things that you've been rearranging in your life. So if you're kind of wondering, is this something I should rearrange? I think your intuition and your gut is telling you that yes, indeed it is. So that is the protection. There is a little, let me look it up really quickly. I'm going to give you there's action prompts here. Give me 1 second. 104. I cannot wait to keep using this deck. It's beautiful. My friend Amy Lee Westervelt, she also gave me a really cool deck where it's different colors and it's about emotions. I'll have to do that one more time. Okay, so this is about calling back your power, again, cutting the cords, and soul retrieval. So you don't have this card, but I can definitely share the link with you on how to get it. But it says to hold a card on your chakra that needs cleaning and repeat the following. Okay, so instead of the card, the rose quartz that you got from your candle, Karina, from the event, I want you to hold that in any place, in any of the chakras where you feel like you need more self-love, more tending to, because I feel that this is right in an alignment of you calling back your power in the things that you shared with me about, some of the things that you're going through. And you can say this: I call back any lost soul fragments, power or light now. Any vows, soul contracts, hexes, or programs from the past or present, from this life or others that are not in the highest good of all, I relinquish now. Any power or light that I have willingly or unwillingly given away or had taken from me, I call back now. Any cords or attachments from this life or others, I release now for the highest good of all. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. So as you're setting boundaries and prioritizing your time and your energy now, and just reorganizing things so that you can create more momentum in your business, know that as you are cutting these cords and you're calling back your power, it's not only good for you, but it's good for the other person. It's you get to have those energetic ties, Karina. Oh, no wonder why I couldn't unmute you, because you weren't on the thing. Sorry, Karina. Do you have any questions about the two so far, Karina? If you want to come off.
No, and I was going to tell you earlier that the only reason I asked that is because kind of towards the end of the year and the beginning of the year, things shifted a little bit for me. It kind of shifted in a positive way, and I'm going in somewhat of a new direction that I was not expecting to go. But as I'm moving forward in those steps, I decided to just kind of embrace it. And I wanted to make sure that that's what I needed to be doing. It feels right. Everything has been happening towards that. So I feel like I just need to go with the flow.
Good. Okay, I'm going to do the future one, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And I feel like, remember how at the event I said that everyone's going to get a candle and the crystal is going to choose you? I feel like based off of the protection one, I feel like it is correct that crystal chose you, the rose quartz, for self-love. So the future is break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. There we go. I think it's so pretty. And what I've experienced is that the stories we tell ourselves are going to dictate the reality that we create. So if there is still some healing, and I know that you started your healing journey with the money manifestation ritual, I know that you're doing some things and they really just awakened you to some patterns that you don't want to have in your life. I would continue that and, find other things that are not serving you. Like ask yourself, if I'm moving in this direction with my business in my life, what is there that is either needs to be moved out of the way temporarily, permanently? Like what is blocking there that is in my control to choose not to entertain that, or I can choose something different? Because we are, we all have the ability to choose everything in life. Although sometimes we want to be at effect and think, well, I can't do this because of that person, or, this person's doing this. Well, we get to choose our rules of engagement for everything, business and relationships. So the last card, it says, you're being called to heal your family line or free yourself from living the life of your ancestors. This can mean letting go of an old pattern of your maternal or paternal line, healing trauma from the past that is not even yours, or observing old ways of being that no longer serve you. We carry emotional trauma in our luminous field for up to 7 generations back. This is why family patterns can be the hardest to break. Often they are not even ours to begin with, but we do not know another way of being, and so we continue playing out the drama. The thing to notice when ancestral healing comes up is that you cannot heal another person, but your own healing can cause another person to choose to heal. Hey, baby. Energy is freed up. You are being guided now to look at your life and decide how you want it to be. What ways of being or patterns are you ready to free yourself from? What part of your future do you want to rewrite? Now is the time to shake them up and dream a new future into being. And so I love that it says, like, what future do you want to rewrite? Because normally we think, like, are we rewriting our future or rewriting the future? And there are so many things happening on multiple timelines. And it's like the choose your own adventure thing. What are you going to choose for your life? In the Akasha one where we talked about the free will, yes, I do believe we have free will, but I feel like there's like a theme that is our soul contract. And then the other parts of that is the free will, right? It's like we know that this is the destiny, but it's the path that is the free will. So, sorry, be careful with her. All right. Do you have any questions before I move on to Lorna?
No, thank you very much. And just one little tidbit. Do you remember when we were sitting there trying to figure out some of the slides and your little heart quartz kept falling right at my feet? I'm like, do you remember that? I'm like,
Yes.
oh, I was meant to have this pink quartz.
Yes. And you know what? I don't even know what happened to it. Somewhere like in my purse or something. I'm like, I thought about that. I was like, where did that go? It
In your
probably ended up with you because they wanted to be with you.
It's probably in your pant pocket where you had it.
Probably. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Of course. I'll see you later. All right. All right. Aloha, Lorna. How are you doing today? Let me see what you said here. I'm going to put these back in and shuffle them up. How are you doing? If you want to come on camera, unmute yourself, whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable.
I'd rather not come on camera because I'm in my jammies still.
Oh, okay. No problem. No problem. I'm like,
and aloha to you.
Aloha. I'm like half pajamas. I put jeans on, but I still have my daughter's little. I gotta be comfortable. It's cold over here in Houston. Yesterday, they said it felt like 17 or something. It's cold, and it's still cold. I haven't been outside, so
I'm surprised you have a shirt on.
I'm gonna be comfy.
Very
okay.
cool.
What did you say here? Okay, use vibration tablet crystal. Oh yeah, I love that. But it because she kept getting, again, like she was saying, when she was at the event, she my rose quartz kept falling on her, and she happened to get that in her candle. So I think it's amazing. Okay,
that is.
What is your question?
I'm trying to set up support for myself to do too much, of course. I'm like transitioning right now off of, regular insurance to Medicare. And I'm also trying to launch a business and get some counseling to support myself as I'm going through that. Not just for my business, but I have other things going on with my adult children who are going through stuff that's impacting me. And that's boundary work for me also there. So I'm also looking for that kind of support in my counseling. So I'm trying to do several things. I'm trying to learn what I need to do to set myself up for some remote work part-time and also launch my business part-time. So I'm doing a lot. But
So
I think
it sounds like you might need some clarity on what to do first, maybe?
I already have things in place already. I signed up for a program, a training program for about 3 months on how to do remote work and how to build a remote work resume. She's really good. She's been doing it for like 10 years. And it was reasonably priced. So I'm doing that. Got sick during the holidays, so I've been down. Now I'm jumping into it. And then I'm also accessing the counseling because I feel like they go hand in hand for me to stay on course because I'm trying to do a lot right now.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Okay, let's just see what this wants you to know. How about that?
Okay.
And what we'll do is I'll do the same thing. I'll do 3 cards and I'll read through the 3 different cards. It will be past, present, and future.
Yes.
And you could tell me, how it resonates for you.
Okay.
We'll put it on mute real quick. Okay, the first card for the past, present, bless you, and future. Okay. Oh, shoot. The earring fell off. It's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to put you on mute while I pick this one. Wow, this is really interesting. First one is boundaries.
Oh, perfect.
Where do you need to establish better boundaries? And you even said that. So let's read what this says here. I like to read the pages because sometimes the page numbers, because sometimes that means something to us. So this is page 38. You are being called to create clear boundaries in your life. This could be with your friends, family, or work. Saying yes when you really mean no leads to resentment, which is the biggest energy drain ever. At first, it might only be a little bit and not feel like a big deal. But before you know it, your energy field becomes porous and you are left feeling depleted, resentful, and taken advantage of. Saying no and having clear boundaries is actually a spiritual act. The most giving, loving, compassionate people are those with the clearest boundaries. For when they say yes, they're able to give unconditionally. When your boundaries are clear, others know where they stand and you're able to give freely. If you're not clear where your boundaries lie, this causes confusion, resentment, and energetic cords to be planted. If you're saying yes when you really mean no, you're likely needing something yourself. Ask yourself, what part of me needs something from them? It could be a need for approval, a fear of being seen a certain way, or fear of loss. The best way to gauge your boundaries is to check in with your belly. Your belly is the second brain. It has intelligence known as your gut feelings. Tune into the space when deciding what is okay for you. How does it feel? And what is it trying to communicate with you? So I'm guessing you already know that there's some room for boundaries because you even said it. But I also bet that there is, as I was reading that, that there was specific images or boundaries that you know that you needed to create. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been focusing on that for like a couple of years now. And I'm of an age, a certain age of women who, you know, society was telling us we had to be all things to all people and never say no and all that garbage.
Yeah.
I've so tossed that. Um, and beyond the being pissed off about it kind of thing, because, part of me bought into it. So, hey.
Yeah. You subscribe to that, right? So it's now like, let's unsubscribe to that thought process. And, something that we were doing at the circle was talking about one goal, one focus, and it causing a domino effect on our goals. And that could be the same for boundaries. And, having one specific boundary can help enforce all the others. So maybe just thinking, what is the biggest boundary I can set that will create a domino effect for everything else? I put up those boundaries for all the other things.
Well,
the next one, I'm going to go to the present one right here. So I that's obviously clear that the boundaries are from the past that are, cleaning themselves up right now. And so I think that even if they're not as clear as you want them right now, it's still in the process. It needs to catch up to the now, right?
absolutely.
Okay, so present. Present is dance with me. Do something to change your energy. So when you are feeling whatever it is, the word that you're feeling, when your boundaries are crossed, or whenever you wish you had those boundaries, what would you identify that feeling as? Would it be frustration or what?
In the past, it's been a feeling of heaviness, a burden, and frustration. Now, it depends on what the type of boundary they're crossing. Is it a financial boundary they're crossing, or is it I want your time and energy, or, fix my life for me kind of boundary? I have different responses to that. Pretty clear on the financial boundary these days. The the asking me to help them fix their life. My children do that. My friends do that. I get people coming at me who want to be my client and want me to, give them the magic recipe to fix their life. And I'm like, sorry, honey, that's your work. Can't do that for you. I'm an energy healer.
Are you a 5? Do you happen to have a 5 line in your profile in human design?
I'm a 3/5.
Yeah. Okay. That's the fixer. The 5 is the fixer. I'm a 5 too. And I get that too. It's like people project that we're, this hero. And I think that we can be very equipped to, because we're so knowledgeable in so many different areas, that we can be equipped to save people, but it's not our job to do the saving. It's, they have to save themselves. We can only do so much.
Right. And it doesn't serve them either, because you might be able to save them from that moment, but their garbage is their garbage and will reappear until they learn to take responsibility. And I know that very clearly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's read this one really quickly. Sorry, Oliver keeps bugging me. You want to say hi? Let's say hi real quick. Normally he would be at school.
What a cutie. I'm expecting my first grandchild soon.
Aw. He's still in his pajamas. Okay. Life is always moving. If you resist let me make sure I don't have the fact. Life is always moving. If you resist this ever-changing flow, your energy will become stagnant and you will fall out of flow with the universe. The universe has a mysterious, intelligent force, a natural rhythmic beat which governs all life. One of the best ways to shift your energy, frequency, and vibration is to put on some music and dance along with it. When we dance unrestrained, our spirit takes over, and with each bop, sway, and kick, we are rocked back into harmony with the rest of life. Get unstuck by doing something that shifts your vibration. Put on some music, dance unrestrained, and fall into the frequency of life. In doing so, your body will begin to learn how to be moved by your intuition, which is connected with this systemic beat. If dancing isn't your thing, then simply do something that you would usually do to shift the energy. You cannot solve a problem from the same mind that created it, and you cannot attract a different experience without changing your energy first. It's time to shift things up and to find a way to dance along with the beat of life. Something that in here that I really liked how it goes with the boundaries is that, where is it? Get unstuck by doing something that shifts your vibration. I just feel like this is just like the perfect thing instead of like, I think that whenever we are so used to having boundaries that are violated, or maybe we didn't establish them before, that it could feel we can get down on ourselves, right? And so I love how this goes in line with that. It's like, wait a minute, let's go ahead and just shift the energy of not only making sure that this boundary stays intact, but that we stay in our power of not getting upset with ourselves that we should have enforced this boundary before, if that makes sense. Okay, the last one is share your voice. So from here on out, for the future, come out of the cave, persecution, and expression. Wow. So I think that's interesting. Oh, let me show you real quick. I think that's interesting because I was just saying that, like, how sometimes we can beat ourselves up for the past, even as we're trying to change it. And it really does just end up pulling us back into those old patterns and that old, behavior. So does that resonate for you?
Oh yeah. I have been thinking about. I do a lot of energy work, and I do it on myself. But I think I need to, like, go engage with like a women's group where we're doing embodiment. So I need to like bring it into my experience in my body and um,
Yeah.
break some of those taboos. You know,
Mm-hmm.
myself,
Yeah.
let my energy flow more. I've really been thinking about that. So.
Yeah, well, here's your confirmation. And then also, I mean, the fact that share your voice of like, what is still going on that maybe you are tolerating. And so just saying like, wait a minute, this is what's shifting for me, and if you're gonna be in my life or whatever it is, this is how things are gonna go.
Right, right. I am in my relationship. He's all for the energy healing, but he's like all taboo on words and any of that because he's kind of the he's not a fundy dundy, but almost. I mean, the biblical thing.
Yeah.
And I used to like be kind of in that realm with him, but it was a duality going on for me because my mother was psychic and prophetic through dreams and stuff. So that's always been in my life.
Yeah.
Like paranoid about that. He has a lot of confusion about what that is. And so there's a disconnect for us in that regard. I just don't discuss that with him because he gets all triggered and starts quoting scripture. And I'm just like, oh, please.
I get it. My husband's very similar to that as well. So I completely understand.
It just, I go do that with my women.
Yeah. Oh. Well, thank you so much for coming on live with me, and I hope that you enjoyed that reading and have a great day.
I did very much. Mahalo nui.
You too. I'll see you later.
Aloha.
Bye.
Mommy.
All right. Okay. I have maybe one card, no 3 cards this time because Oliver is going cray over there. He's a little bit hyper. He didn't finish his nap. If Anita, if you're on, do you want me to draw a card for you? If anyone else is on, just drop the word or your question and I'll draw one more card. And if not, I'm going to draw a card just to kind of close this out for us and just to kind of send some healing and positive vibes for everyone that is tuning in or that will tune in a little bit later. Okay, cool. Anita, tell me really quickly, maybe one word or a question that you want to be able to focus on. That'd be great. And so that I can be able to draw that one card for that.
Bye.
Oliver. Okay, I'm gonna make sure they're all the right. Okay. All right. I'll wait for your word, Anita. Tell me what that one word is, that phrase, a question. Finances. Perfect. Okay. There's a lot of things, Anita, about finances. there's questions of, and I want you to be thinking about this for yourself. So that way, as I draw a card, you're clear about what question it's answering about finances. So there's questions about how will the finances come? What should I do to, and that's just another way of saying it, but what should I do to create more financial freedom? Or it might be, am I in this right direction? Or when will they come? All those things. So I want you to be thinking about that specificity as it pertains to finances. Okay. So think of that now. When you have it in your mind, just kind of drop an emoji or something for me. Because the last thing I want is for you to get something like, wait, does it apply to this way, or that way? Okay, here we go. Okay. You got the pillar of light. And it says your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So let's read what that means and an activity for you to be able to do. "102." I don't know if 102 means anything for you. Just go ahead and read it. You are heaven and earth in perfect expression, a conduit for the light of the heavens to the earth. You are the rainbow bridge. Time to meditate. Imagine yourself as a pillar of light connecting the light of the heavens above with the earth. As the light shines through each of your chakras, you activate the rainbow bridge that many ancient scriptures speak about, raising your vibration of the planet, linking the higher realms of the cosmos, guides, angels, and spirit with the ancient wisdom keepers and beings of planet Earth. They dance together through you. They sing together through you. Without your body, voice, and creations, neither can be expressed. For too long, we've been taught that God is outside of us, giving away our power to angels and spirit guides. But without you, they do not have a voice. You are the oracle. Do not look for guidance outside, for you hold all the wisdom of the entire universe in the portal of your heart, in every cell of your body. Do not see the angels and guides as above you, for without you, they have no way of communicating. You are the oracle. You are the rainbow bridge. You are the pillar of light. So this says, hold the card on your heart and say, I allow the light of the heavens and the light of the earth to flow through me now. I activate the codes of remembering within my cells and chakras. I activate my system as a rainbow bridge between heaven and earth.
Mama.
So I know that you don't have this card. Hold on, bub. But do you remember what crystal you got from the event, Anita? I don't think you sent me a picture, did you? I need to go back and look. Have you burnt your candle? The reason why I'm wondering is because I kind of wonder if it has to do with your throat chakra. If there's anything that you're not expressing that can actually lead to you creating more financial abundance, or, okay, you haven't burnt it yet. Well, because you don't have the card, what I would do is you maybe use that crystal as kind of putting in different areas when you do burn it, or whenever you do get the crystal. Remember, it's wrapped in foil, so you had to unwrap it. Oh, you're waiting for the right time. I invite you to start burning it, Anita. So, once that you have that crystal, find out what the meaning is. And then I kind of wonder if this is something that is supposed to open up the chakras where you're feeling maybe a little bit stuck when it comes to your finances. I know that you have an open head and open ajna when it comes to human design. So it can be tricky on maybe sometimes trusting your own thoughts and your own answers, because you are able to just kind of like get a lot of the frequencies from other people. So I would calm your mind and really get the clarity from within about the direction you're supposed to head for whatever it is specifically towards your, about your finances. Does that help you? Does that resonate for you? Let me know before we hop off. Say hi. You just want to look at yourself, huh? You can see the messages right here. Here we go. Oh, look, I forgot we can put that in there. Anita, I'm waiting for the right time. I always wonder how my friend Amy Lee does this, and I found out. Yes, thank you. Perfect.
Like this paper.
All right.
This is
Okay,
one.
next, you know what I'll do is I will draw 3 cards for whoever said this, and I'll put a picture of it inside the Facebook group underneath your comment. I don't see the name, but I will do that for you. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I hope that if you tuned in a little bit later, I hope that you go to the beginning so you could hear the story about how magical and amazing spirit guides and angels are, because somehow they got one of these cards from Florida to Texas and gave me the sign that I needed to continue with the Aligned Businesswoman Circle, even though I didn't know how it was going to happen. And to me, I think it was just an amazing time where I got to hang out with some amazing, beautiful women. And I know that they all were able to experience something amazing. All right, gotta go. Oliver's crying. See you later. Bye-bye.